August 27, 2016. Memorial of St. Monica.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Consider your own calling, brothers and sisters. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. Rather, God chose the foolish of the world to shame the wise. And God chose the weak of the world to shame the strong. And God chose the lowly and despised of the world, those who count for nothing, to reduce to nothing those who are something, so that no human being might boast before God. It is due to him that you are in Christ Jesus, who became for us wisdom from God, as well as righteousness, sanctification, and redemption, so that, as it is written, whoever boasts should boast in the Lord. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, Blessed the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. Blessed the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen for his own inheritance. From heaven the Lord looks down, he sees all mankind. Blessed the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. But see, the eyes of the Lord are upon those who fear him, upon those who hope for his kindness, to deliver them from death and preserve them in spite of famine. Blessed the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. Our soul waits for the Lord, who is our help and our shield. For in him our hearts rejoice, in his holy name we trust. Blessed the people the Lord has chosen to be his own.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus told his disciples this parable. A man going on a journey called in his servants and entrusted his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. Immediately the one who received 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5. Likewise, the one who received 2 made another 2. But the man who received 1 went off and dug a hole in the ground and buried his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came back and settled accounts with them. The one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing the additional 5. He said, Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more. His master said to him, Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy. Then the one who had received 2 talents also came forward and said, Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more. His master said to him, Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy. Then the one who had received the 1 talent came forward and said, Master, I knew you were a demanding person, harvesting what you did not plant and gathering what you did not scatter. So out of fear I went off and buried your talent in the ground. Here it is back. His master said to him in reply, You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I did not plant and gather where I did not scatter? Should you not then have put my money in the bank so that I could have got it back with interest on my return? Now then, take the talent from him and give it to the one with 10. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will grow rich. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And throw the useless servant into the darkness outside, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. The Gospel of the Lord.
August 27th, the Memorial of St. Monica. The first reading comes from 1 Corinthians 1, 26 to 31. Paul continues the message that he had given yesterday about true wisdom. He says, look around at your own community. You're not exactly the hoi polloi of society. You're not exactly educated or rich. In fact, many people would call you the riffraff, and yet it's to the foolish that God has sent his message, because you were ready to accept it. If that's the case, then why should you boast of spiritual gifts? Those are gifts from God. They're not yours. You've been entrusted with using them for the building up of the community. Don't try to be better than others. Don't try to be arrogant, but rather use the gifts from God for righteousness, sanctification, redemption. That if you're going to boast, boast in the Lord. In other words, instead of boasting about what you have, boast about the fact that God is so generous. The Gospel is from Matthew 25, 14 to 30. This is another one of those parables about a final accounting. A man's going away and he entrusts a certain amount of talents of precious metal to his servants. One gets 5, the other 2, the third one 1. Now, talent is a massive amount of money. The one with 5 invests it, gets another 5. The one with 2 invests it, gets another 2. The one with 1 doesn't invest it. He buries it in the ground because he's afraid if he loses it, he'll be in real trouble with his master. And the master's furious. He said, "Why didn't you at least lend it? And we could have gotten interest back. Because of this, it'll be taken away from you. You'll be sent out into the darkness where there's wailing and grinding of teeth." And the one who had the 5 gets this one that the worthless servant all but squandered. He who has more will be given. And again, that doesn't sound fair. It sounds like the rich are going to get richer. But the author is probably talking about faith. If you have faith and you let your faith grow, then God will shower you with more faith. He will trust you more so that you can exercise greater responsibility in his kingdom. And may God bless us.